Mardi Gras celebrations already underway in New Orleans on this Fat Tuesday, which means diet starts tomorrow. It's going to be Lent. But for now, all eyes are on a performer who represents the heart, soul, and success of that wonderful city. His name, Troy Andrews, better known in those parts as Trombone Shorty. And our Jamie Wax met up with the touring musician to check out his massive Mardi Gras float. Also to learn about his inspiring career that kicked off before he could even read.
When it comes to the sounds of New Orleans, Troy Andrews knows a tune or two about it. Better known as Trombone Shorty, he picked up the tall instrument as a toddler, growing up in a music-filled home among New Orleans music royalty.
In the family, it was one of the only instruments that wasn't taken up and one of the other ones that wasn't broken at the time.
He made history at just 4 years old when he performed at Jazz Fest, then led his own brass band at the age of 6, and joined Lenny Kravitz on tour as a teen, where his career really took off.
Hardly anybody gets famous for playing the trombone. I mean, back in the swing era, there were a few trombone players who led bands.
Yeah.
But in your generation, that's almost unheard of.
Yeah, well, you know, some people don't even know what a trombone is. Everybody knows a trumpet, a sax, drums, a piano, all of that type of stuff. But being in New Orleans, the brass is king here.
In the city where brass is king, Andrews became engulfed in the rhythm, as New Orleanians tend to do.
When we were 11, we were playing in Jackson Square, and I remember the police coming under the Cabildo, and they say that we were playing too loud. And they hauled us off they took us downtown to jail, and then we did like this big protest and different things, and because of that moment, the kids and people who want to play on the street are still able to do that because of what we did.
It's one of the greatest stages in the world.
Yeah.
It just happens to be free.
Yeah.
Since then, Andrews has performed on some of the other greatest stages in the world, collaborating with artists like Stevie Wonder, Usher, and Dave Matthews Band, but never losing sight of the sounds of home.
Without New Orleans, I wouldn't be here. And I really mean that with my whole heart.
You're still chasing something. You don't feel like you've reached perfection yet.
No.
You're still reaching for something.
I'm still reaching for something. I'm always practicing. I'm always trying to get better. And it doesn't matter if we go out there and play in front of 5,000 people or wherever it may be, or 200 people. I always play as if these people don't know who I am.
Obviously, that's far from the case, especially during Mardi Gras, where everyone knows Trombone Shorty. After all, it's hard to miss his float.
I have never stood with someone in front of a giant sculpture of themselves. For people who are not from New Orleans, what does that mean to you?
It's an incredible honor. You know, we all grew up here in New Orleans, and we watched the parades as children, but I never dreamt of myself being on a float or having myself on the float.
On that float, Andrews led his very own Mardi Gras parade last week, called the Crew of Ferret, which is affectionately known by locals as Shorty Gras.
For your childhood and my childhood, most of the Mardi Gras crews were all white.
Yeah. Well, you know, just me being there, it created a diversity. And so we bring in different people from different ethnic backgrounds, and we don't see anything. We just, like, Mardi Gras is colorful. Mm-hmm. We're just showing that this is what this city is about, a big gumbo. Mm-hmm. Let's just all do it together.
Andrews' passion for inclusion inspired him to create the Trombone Shorty Foundation to support the next generation of musicians.
I realized after Katrina that the way that I grew up in a musical neighborhood will no longer exist. As we know it, it's not going to be there for a while. And so I wanted to be able to reach kids citywide that don't have that experience that I had growing up in Tremaine, give them an opportunity to learn from some of the best New Orleans musicians. So the foundation is just about inspiring the next generation and letting them know that we can, through music, it could be your passport to do whatever you want to do.
A Grammy Award later, Trombone Shorty is a bit taller now. And he's got even bigger dreams.
I mean, we are sitting here in your recording studio. Could that kid who picked up that trombone imagine this life for himself?
I just knew that I wanted to play music, and from that, here we are, and it's a complete blessing. Like old times, huh?
And guys, you know, it is true that New Orleans has its issues like any large city does, but it's so beautiful on this Mardi Gras morning to be here in the French Quarter telling a story about hope and music by someone who embodies both of those things like Troy Andrews.
Jamie, beware. There's a reveler behind you. Someone's had too much slushy.
Security.
He tried to remain professional because he wasn't sure.
He was not sure.
Look, crazy things happen in New Orleans, guys.
Michelle Miller.
Yes, they do.
I tell you what, guys.
Nice to meet you.
Oh
Didn't realize.
Wait, does he know? Are
He
you
didn't even realize it till now.
going with it?
I don't think he would. Folks that want to
Michelle,
walk
can you
up
hear
and
us?
say hi to him. They love
she
the red.
can't even
I
hear
hear you. They
Oh, okay.
love the red suits.
We do
They have been
too.
commenting about the suit
true?
all morning.
Okay. Jerika, I took you out in this very neighborhood, and we had a good
Yes,
time.
you
have to come back.
did.
Yes, you
I
must.
remember that.
Does Jamie know how to party?
Oh, he knows how to party.
Oh, yeah. He knows how to party.
I have a set of skills.
Go get
very
one of those
specific
hurricanes. Get one of those slushy hurricanes.
Yeah.
That was a great
Get one
piece.
home.
Take a shot for us.
Yeah.
Woo! Great job. You guys have fun down there. Now, I would
Michelle
say,
might actually
Jamie,
have
thank you, but Jamie and Michelle, thank you
She's
for
coming up
gracing us with your
all-nighter.
presence. Yes, she is.
Michelle prepped for that. Yeah. She was like, I'm going to stay up all night.
She had the
Let's go that way.
IFB, she had the mic on. She was ready.
Great.
Again, thank you for that report. Well,